you're still not able to define yourself, isn't it? Whatever definition you put on yourself is not correct. Any kind of definition you put on you, it is not enough to describe this one. When this small piece of creation is like this, the source of creation, how are you going to put a definition on it? You cannot define it.
Oh! Man down!
He's down!
Man down! Someone help me! I'm drowning! I'm drowning in wisdom!
I'm drowning in knowledge!
Oh!
Welcome back
To Learn With Us,
where we take YouTube videos that are worth your time and learn from them with you.
with you. Buzzing!
Today, we're back with another video that some subscribers told us to watch. It's about Sadhguru's thoughts on what is God.
I don't know what we're about to get into.
Again, shout outs to all the subscribers who had ideas for us to watch and react to. If you have any ideas, let us know. Comment them below. Bars?
Yeah.
We're always on the lookout and we love hearing from you guys. So thanks again. Keep the comments coming.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Let us know what you think about whatever we have to say here, because it's going to be crazy.
Sadhguru on God.
Which is interesting because already before the video even starts, because Sadhguru is so big on not sticking to belief systems. And so what's he going to say about what God is? Is he going to say something very concrete that seems like a sort of belief system? Or is he going to really push away from us believing in one specific thing about God?
Yes.
Or is he going to say, I can picture him saying something like recognizing the divinity all around us. I think he says that a lot. That is something that I really resonate with. So,
or saying how like different religions will use a different name, but that it's the same thing. I don't know.
I'm so interested.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
The soul is sacred for people. The body is filthy. How is it possible?
Already.
First line was just like heater.
Yeah, that was. I'm glad you paused it there. That's awesome.
That was just a slap in the face.
Why do we think that?
Why do we think that?
Because thinking that just keeps perpetuating the same cycles of, if you think your body is filthy, then you're going to be doing filthy things with your body. Come on.
It makes all the things that the soul wants to do filthy. That the soul wants to enact through you.
Yeah.
Not saying that like sex, drugs, or whatever are like. Because I think when people say like, oh, we're filthy or whatever, they're all often focused on that type of thing. But they don't realize that they're also negating all of the absolutely brilliant things that a body does.
Yeah.
And turning these very nuanced experiences of sex and drugs into this like big category of filth. When it's like, there's so many different ways you can experience those things.
And maybe we're living this way because it's all rooted in that sort of shame of body, of what the body wants. Because I think what the body wants, that's a very natural thing. It's a beautiful thing. But if you turn that into a shameful thing, there's going to be resistance. And then there's going to be a swing too far in the other direction towards sex and drugs and overeating and whatever.
It's like when you tell a kid, don't open that box. The kid's going to open the box.
He's going to open the damn
Whereas
box.
if you're like, hey, look inside of this box. This is what's in here. These are your tools. Do what you want with them and understand how to use them.
We're talking about the Garden of Eden without specifically talking about the Garden of Eden here. Just so you know.
We open the box.
What we've been doing, isn't it so? Saying God is sacred, creation is filthy. How is it possible? The very thought of God occurred to you only because you saw creation, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thought of God only occurred to you because you saw creation.
Wow.
And you went, how the hell is that possible?
But then we were like, it's filthy.
But the thing that inspired you to think of God is now filthy?
Come on.
Dude,
Sadhguru, come on.
30 seconds into this video.
He's on fire. No wonder our subscribers are telling us to watch this.
Subscribers knew.
This is... What the hell's going on?
When you were born and you opened your eyes, you looked around, so much creation. Before you came here, so much has happened. Obviously, you did not create it. So you thought, there must be a creator. This is how you come to the creator, isn't it? The moment you thought there must be a creator, because you're in a human form, you thought it must be a big man.
You know, that is really interesting how keeps saying, you thought. As if I think that's almost giving a lot of people too much credit. Because a lot of people are just told what to think. They're not even thinking it. It's just you were told this, and so bang. But then now he's saying, this is what those people that were telling you about, that's how they got there.
Yeah, he's like, here's how we got to this God.
Yes. And it kind of, I think he's trying to give some power back to the people, being like, you have agency over this. You thought this. You did not, like, you can't just be force-fed this stuff.
It was humans who wrote these books.
Yes.
And it is humans who are thinking today. And it is our choice how we move today.
Absolutely.
A small man like me cannot do all this. It must be a big man. Just 2 hands, how can it do so much creation? Must be 8 hands. Isn't it? Isn't it so? If you were a buffalo, you would be really thinking, God is a huge buffalo. Isn't it so? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of like anthropomorphizing things.
Oh, yeah.
Turn everything human no matter what.
Yep.
Turn a buffalo's conscious. Like when we display animals in movies, we obviously make them seem like they have human-like consciousness.
Yes. And then that makes us the standard for everything.
Aha!
We're not the standard, folks.
Dude, trees live longer than you do.
They've also been around longer than humans have.
Why don't we think that they're smarter than us?
Like, actually.
It's because our idea of smarts is built around us.
Yes.
Which, I mean, of course it is. Like, how else can you measure smarts, you know? So, I mean, it makes sense.
It's important to be humble, though.
But you can have that openness to things.
Yeah,
Or you can
yeah,
have that
yeah.
closedness.
And it's not just smarts, it's intellect.
Yes.
So we have a lot more. We learned this from
Yes.
Sadhguru.
Sadhguru, Parts of the Mind. We made 2 episodes on it.
Yeah, those were insane.
Check those out because they are crazy.
They blew ours. Minds.
So your idea of God is just an exaggerated version of yourself, isn't it?
Oh, wow. Your idea of God is just an exaggerated version of yourself. Ooh. Which means that, maybe that means that if you're creating an exaggerated version of yourself, you're trying to do things that are godlike. Such as conquering everything or dominating, what your ideas of what God are.
Yeah.
You know? Because if you're like, oh, well, God's just this thing that's greater than me, but also I share a lot of qualities, I'm probably the best thing that's here. You know? God's up there, but...
If God is a he...
And a human.
And I think God is the thing that gives intellect, and I am a man, then I should be the one leading this society because I am strong and intellectual.
Wow. Not just the society... like everything, every species, not just gender.
Oh yeah, like the whole world belongs to man because man is the smartest. But it's interesting because I think that practice of viewing what you imagine a god to be like and then seeing how you're acting can actually be a force for great good and great like self-evolution but it all depends on what the values your god holds are.
Yes.
Because if your God is all of nature's evolution, then you see the way that all the different plants outside, I'm just looking that way because that's outside.
Yeah.
And then all the different plants, you see the way that they all interact.
Yeah.
And the way that they just grow and feed without asking for anything in return. I mean, sure, you like move their seeds around and stuff, but it's this whole system that works together.
It's beautiful.
And if your God is that nature, and then you see yourself as a reflection of that God, you are going to want to be as involved with that cycle and helping and nurturing that cycle.
Being connected. Yeah.
Whereas if you write a God that is valued in other ways, obviously it can be destructive.
Wow. Facts. That's just facts.
You're still not able to define yourself, isn't it? Whatever definition you put on yourself is not correct. Any kind of definition you put on you, it is not enough to describe this one. When this small piece of creation is like this, the source of creation, how are you going to put a definition on it? You cannot define it.
Oh! Man down!
He's down!
Man down! Someone help me! I'm drowning! I'm drowning in wisdom!
I'm drowning in knowledge!
Oh!
Dude, that was awesome.
Give me a recap of what he just said. That is awesome. Because I know what he said, but I just we need to hear it again. Everyone does.
He goes, you cannot define yourself.
Yes.
And you are just such a small piece of creation that the creator, the thing behind all of it, is gonna be more complex than you.
Oof.
So why are you trying to define it? If you can't even define yourself? And that goes back to what we were saying about identity earlier in this episode, where we're so focused on being X, Y, or Z, and having those things, X, Y, and Z, be the highest thing you can be. And it's like, what? Well, it's all just a made-up ladder that we have here, where X, Y, and Z exist up here. It's all about how you are X, Y, and Z. And the how you are is not a definable thing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
You cannot understand it. You can only dissolve into it. You can experience it. You can never know it. You can't make knowledge out of it.
Oh, man.
You can never define it. You can only dissolve into it.
You can only experience it. That's such a good description of, it's just so much more than language. So much, there's so many things in my life this past year or so that I just have accepted and become loving of the fact that it can't be described in language. It's just something, it's just like more like a, hey, let me show you this, rather than let me try and tell you about it.
We have this word that we use with each other, which I want to start using with the people.
Yes.
With all of our lovely fans, is the idea of universal bars.
Oh, yeah.
Bars are in rap when someone says something that's really clever or like rhymes well. But then we say universal bars is the idea of saying something that seems like it's from that source of creation type. Like, so much of what Sadhguru says are universal bars.
Yes.
And it's when someone touches the thing that is beyond the word.
Yeah.
So it's when you say something like, all you can do, you can't define. This was a universal bar. You can't define it. All you can do is dissolve into it.
Oh.
Dissolve into it gives you this visceral experience and reminds you of what it means to be alive and to be living as the creation you are.
Wow.
That is the definition of a universal bar. Now you know. Now whenever it comes up,
we're making it a thing.
We're making it a thing.
Yep.
Have knowledge you have about God is just pure nonsense, cultural nonsense. Depending upon which kind of culture you are in, that kind of God you have, isn't it? It can only be experienced. Experience does not mean you can eat it or you can grasp it. No, you can experience only by dissolving in it. There is no other way. So, we are just looking for methods of dissolution so that we can experience something far bigger than ourselves.
Wow. Yo, the subscribers who sent this, we love you.
You're on some other stuff.
That was awesome.
That was a sick video.
That was so good.
Gosh dang it. See, again, I love that we were trying to think of what he was going to say before the video started. Something I shouldn't have done. But how he just took that and he was like, little boys.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Little boys.
Yes, little boys. Little boys. Let me show you.
What is something that you can do or that you practice that helps you dissolve?
Helps me dissolve. Ooh. So one thing that I try to do, which I can do more, that's a thing that I can improve on, is just be still outside, especially someplace that's not, it helps to have not as many like car sounds, traffic, things like that. Because just when you're still for a while, I almost feel like my ego starts to go down a few notches, and it allows for me to start to dissolve in the sense of feeling like this mesh with everything else rather than this other thing that's trying to be greater, because there is no greater. There is no greater.
When you're almost like sitting on a tree, like leaned up against a tree or whatever it is, and you become the sounds and the sight.
Yes. What I try and envision is that I am an extension of those roots. That I'm leaning on the tree, but I'm part of the stem of this tree, and my feet and where my like anything that's touching the ground, my hands, it's just like a root that's going in. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just dissolving into the environment. So that's just a visualization, just a practice that I do, but it's powerful if you ever want to try it. But we're talking stillness. We're not talking like go take a walk and not notice anything. I'm talking being really still. Finding that within yourself as well.
I've noticed on runs or like workouts, I'll often like run over to a little like park we have nearby to work out.
Yeah.
But when I stop in the woods while running, I like to go like off trail a bunch in the woods or whatever. But then I'll often stop and be like, is this a spot where I want to go into? And when I pause there for a second, it's as if you're like hypersensitive because like your blood is flowing way faster, whatever it is, all of your senses are up and you're just hearing and seeing what's there.
Oh.
And I feel like that gives a very similar thing. And a few times I've tried sitting down and meditating at that point. The first few minutes especially are really like immersive.
Wow.
Because your whole body, you're so there, but you're also loose and warm and yeah.
The feeling of being able to lose yourself in that, lose yourself in like hanging out with someone, lose yourself in cooking dinner, just lose yourself in a night.
Yeah, if you can, I don't know why we're saying all this stuff right now, but it's good.
Yeah.
If you can limit the amount of like deadlines you have on certain nights, like if you can get rid of a schedule.
Yes. Oh.
And start acting based on what you feel like.
Oh my gosh.
Am I hungry right now? No. Do I feel like I want to be outside right now? Yes or no. And then you just go through that and you do what you're feeling like and you have that openness to explore. And especially if you can have a friend with you while doing that.
Oh my gosh.
Like the doors are open.
And just open yourself up to either meeting new people or reconnecting with people or connecting on a deeper level with people you think you know. Like that. Oh my gosh. It just allows you, whenever I open my day up like that, that's the stuff I remember the most. Not the stuff that's planned. Oh.
Wow. All right. Again, to you guys who came up with this video idea,
hats off.
Yes.
Hats off to you.
We love you. We love all of you, actually. We appreciate so much that you watched this episode. Let us know what you thought. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. And a comment, too.
We got a lot of stuff going on, so also subscribe.
Yeah. We also do like artistic pieces, and we react to a lot of other things that are also all about living a fulfilling life. So check it out.
And join us.
And join us.
Much love.
Much love. Peace.
Oh shit! We gotta redo the whole thing. We gotta redo the whole thing.